Have you ever wondered why you're stuck in the cycle of mediocrity? Why do you feel like you're running on a treadmill, putting in the effort, yet somehow always ending up in the same place? Let's talk about the concept of mediocrity. This is not about being average, but about settling for less than what you're capable of. It's a state of being where you accept less because you believe that you are less. It's a trap, an illusion created by societal pressures and our own fears. But how does this trap work? Imagine walking on a path, your path. You're surrounded by a vast crowd, each person on their own journey. Now, there's nothing wrong with looking around, observing, learning from others. The problem arises when we start comparing our path, our journey, to those of others. This comparison becomes a pitfall. It breeds dissatisfaction, a feeling of never being good enough. You see, when we compare, we often focus on people who we perceive as being better than us. We see their success and overlook their struggles. We see their achievements, not their sacrifices. This skewed perspective creates a false sense of inferiority. You start believing that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. You start settling for less. Your dreams shrink, your ambitions fade. You start living a life of mediocrity. But here's the thing. Comparison is not a measure of your worth. Your worth is not defined by someone else's success. Your worth is defined by your dreams, your passions, your values, and the effort you put into realizing them. The trap of mediocrity is a self-fulfilling prophecy. It feeds on self-doubt and comparison. But remember, it's a trap. You have the power to break free. You have the power to define your own worth, to set your own standards, to walk your own path. Don't let the fear of not being the best stop you from becoming the best version of yourself. Don't let comparison steal your joy. Remember, it's your journey, your story. Mediocrity is a trap, a self-fulfilling prophecy that feeds on self-doubt and comparison. But it's a trap you can break free from. It's time to step out of the cycle of mediocrity and step into the cycle of growth. Consider the story of John Doe, a man who found himself trapped in the cycle of mediocrity. John Doe was an individual brimming with potential. He had a sharp mind, a creative spirit, and an unrivaled work ethic. But despite these qualities, he found himself often stuck in the middle of the pack, neither at the bottom nor soaring at the top. John was no stranger to hard work. He invested hours into his career, relationships, and personal development. He was not lazy or complacent, yet he felt as though he was perpetually running on a treadmill, exerting immense effort, but never truly advancing. Why was this? The answer lies in John's self-comparison. He had a habit of comparing his life to those around him. His colleagues' promotion, his friend's successful business, his neighbor's lavish vacation, all seemed to eclipse his own accomplishments. This constant comparison led to self-doubt and dissatisfaction. He would question his abilities, devalue his achievements, and berate himself for not doing more, being more. This self-comparison was like a shadow that followed John everywhere, casting a dark veil over his potential. It chained him to the cycle of mediocrity, preventing him from recognizing and harnessing his true capabilities. His focus was so consumed by what others were doing that he neglected to nurture his own growth. The irony is, while John was comparing himself to others, they were likely doing the same. Each person embroiled in their own cycle of self-comparison, each person feeling mediocre in comparison to someone else. It's a destructive cycle that feeds on our insecurities and stifles our progress. John Doe, like many of us, was caught in the destructive cycle of mediocrity, fueled by the negative effects of self-comparison. Breaking free from the cycle of mediocrity involves a change in perspective. This change in perspective is a shift from the external to the internal, from the comparison with others to the exploration of self. It's about taking a deep dive into oneself, understanding one's strengths and weaknesses, and then working diligently on them. It's about focusing on personal growth rather than comparing oneself to others. You see, our lives are like a unique piece of art. Each stroke represents different aspects of our lives, our career, relationships, health, and so on. And just like art, the beauty of our lives lies in its uniqueness, not in its comparison with others. So, instead of comparing your art with others, focus on making your art better. One of the effective ways to do this is by setting personal goals. Goals that are based on your aspirations, not on societal standards. Goals that challenge you, that push you out of your comfort zone, that make you learn new skills. But remember, the journey to achieving these goals will not always be smooth. You will face obstacles, you will face failures. However, instead of being disheartened by them, Embrace them. Embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Each failure is a lesson, a stepping stone towards your goal. And while you are on this journey, don't forget to celebrate small victories. Each small victory is a validation that you are on the right path, that you are making progress. Celebrating these victories not only boosts your confidence but also motivates you to keep moving forward. Also, remember to not take life too seriously. Life is not a race, it's a journey that is meant to be enjoyed, not stressed over. So take a moment, breathe, and enjoy the journey. Change begins with a single step, a decision to break free from the cycle of mediocrity. So take that step today. Start working on your personal goals. Start celebrating your victories. Start embracing your failures. Remember, it's your life, your journey, your story. Make it a masterpiece. So, are you ready to step out of the cycle of mediocrity? As we journeyed together through the pitfalls of mediocrity, we highlighted the story of John Doe, a testament to the fact that anyone can break free from the clutches of this cycle. It starts with a personal decision to stop comparing oneself to others and to focus on personal growth. Why? Because comparison is the thief of joy, the underminer of our individuality, and the assassin of our self-esteem. It keeps us locked in mediocrity, forever chasing someone else's idea of success, instead of forging our own path. But when you decide to embrace your individuality, to stop comparing and start growing, you unlock the potential to write your own story. A story that's unique, fulfilling, and most importantly, your own. So let's choose growth over comparison, self-improvement over self-doubt, and start living life on our own terms. Remember, it's your life, your journey, your milestones. Don't let comparison steal your joy. Start writing your own story today.